He first raised the vibrations of his body by connecting his own thoughts with those of divine mind, and holding his own thoughts steadfastly in accord with those of the perfection of the divine mind for man. Then the vibrations of his body became equal to the vibrations in divine mind. Having thus raised the vibrations of his own body by his steadfast thought of the divine perfection, he was able to raise the vibrations of the body of the applicant with the withered arm, to the point where he could erase the image of the withered arm from his own consciousness. Then Jesus could say to him, "Stretch forth your hand." He stretched it forth, and it became whole. Thus Jesus raised the vibration of his own body by seeing the divine perfection for all, and this enabled him to raise the vibrations of the one he healed, until the image of imperfection was entirely erased. Then perfection was instantaneous, and the forgiveness was complete. You will soon find that by fixing your thoughts and attention steadfastly on God and His divine perfection, you can raise the vibrations of your body so that they will blend so harmoniously with those of the divine perfection that you are absolutely one with the divine perfection, and thus one with God. You are then able so to influence the vibration of the bodies of others with whom you come in contact that they see the perfection that you see. Thus you may fulfill the divine mission, and your part is complete. Or you may see imperfection, and thus lower the vibrations until imperfection is the result. But if you do this, you cannot escape reaping the harvest of the seed you have sown. God works through all to carry out His perfect plan, and the perfect loving thoughts continually going forth from the hearts of all are God's own message to His children. It is these thoughts that keep the vibrations of our bodies in direct touch with the divine and perfect vibrations. And this seed is the Word of God that finds lodgment in every receptive heart, whether man be consciously aware of his divine nature or not. We are approaching more fully to our divine inheritance when we can keep our thoughts so fully upon our divine perfection and the divine perfection of all, as held in the mind of God, that the vibrations of our body are in direct harmonious accord and one with the divine vibrations sent out from the mind of God. But in order to bring forth the abundant harvest of spiritual understanding, our thoughts must continually vibrate with and lay hold of the perfect harmonious thought from divine mind, or mind of God, to man, His beloved Son. We soon find we have the power to enslave or to free ourselves, as well as to forgive every sin of the whole human family through our attitude of thought, word, or deed, and through the vibrations thus released to the whole world. Once having chosen to shape our thoughts along definite lines, we soon find that we are sustained by omnipotence itself, and find as we go through the discipline necessary to assure ourselves of mastery, that it is a glorious privilege, this power which we have to free ourselves and our fellow men from bondage through the process of divine thinking. All of Jesus' healings were on the basis of removing the mental cause, so we find that it is necessary to reduce the idealism of Jesus to practical demonstration, and by so doing we find we are only doing that which He enjoined us to do. Many sins vanish at the first few rays of light shed into the dark concept, while others more firmly rooted in consciousness require patience and perseverance to overcome. The forgiving love of Christ must prevail if we do not obstruct but give it full sway. True forgiveness purifies and blesses all, and begins in the heart of the individual. This is at first a thought reformation, and thus a resurrection. Realizing that God is the only mind, and this mind is pure and holy, will do much to keep one holding steadfastly and worshiping the truth that the mind of Christ is having its perfect way in you, and establishes you in these harmonious, constructive thought currents. You become aware that you are always in the ever-flowing stream of the ever-loving thoughts which God is pouring out to His children. You will soon know that you are fast approaching a period in which you will be living in a world of thinkers. You will know that thought is the most potent agency in the universe. You will soon recognize that thought is the mediator between divine mind and every bodily ailment or discord in the world. If you practice looking immediately to the divine mind, the kingdom within, when discord or inharmony arises, you are immediately united with divine ideas, and you will find that divine love is ever ready to give its healing balm of pure love to those who seek. Jesus lives today to wipe out of human consciousness the power and reality of sin and its effects. Fresh from the heart of love He came, understanding the relation between God and man, and in His fearless, free recognition of spirit as the only power, He proclaimed the supremacy of divine law, which, when understood and applied to every act of living, will transform suffering man into radiant beings and usher in the only real kingdom of perfect citizenship, the kingdom of heaven upon earth. Here Jas ceased talking. The sun had disappeared below the horizon, and the beautiful afterglow, which foretold a peaceful night, was flaming across the entire expanse of sky. It was the first evening free from wind or storm that we had experienced in 10 days, and all were quietly drinking in the magnificent display of color. A quiet sunset on the Gobi can enrapture one into a reverie of forgetfulness of all things. The colors do not glow and whine. They seem to dart here and there in great beams, as though invisible hands were operating colored searchlights. At times it seems as if these invisible hands were attempting to show the full range of the spectrum and the many variations of color to be obtained in the combinations. A wide band of white light would appear, then branching off at an oblique angle would appear a wide band of violet. From this violet a band of indigo would shoot out, and along the side of the indigo a band of blue would appear, and so on until the whole atmosphere seemed charged with wide bands of color. Then they would combine and blend again to the band of white, which seemed quite stationary. Again they flashed out in fan formation, with beams of every color shooting in all directions. This gradually subsided into a solid golden color, which caused the undulating sands to appear like a sea of heaving molten gold. This display continued for about 10 minutes. Then it faded into a haze of mottled blue, yellow, green, and gray, which seemed to drop from the heavens like a robe of night, and darkness was upon us. So quickly did the darkness surround us that a number of the party expressed startled surprise at its suddenness.